CBS 46 News presents Public Affairs on Peach.
And good morning and welcome to Public Affairs on Peach. I'm Gloria Neal, and if you're one of those people who've always considered science dull, well, honey, we are going to change your mind this morning because this is all about the Atlanta Science Festival. And with me now is the co-director of the Atlanta Science Festival, Dr. Maysa Salaita, and we also have Dr. Michelle LaPlaca from Georgia Tech. And Michelle, we will definitely get to you in just a few minutes, but Maysa, I want to talk to you about the overview of what the event is all about. What's the festival all about?
Sure. So it starts today. It is a week long. We've got 100 events all throughout the region. There's something for everybody. We have science of chocolate making at a chocolate factory. We're exploring the science of the 7 deadly sins at Fernbank Science Center. And today we even have a bicycle riding scavenger hunt along the Beltline where you get to do science at each of the stops along the way. So there's something for everybody, any age, any interest.
Now, what about the Exploration Expo on March 26th? What will that consist of?
Well, I'm thankful you reminded me because that is the big event of the festival. That is on the very last day of the festival in Centennial Olympic Park. It's a free event. There are over 100 hands-on science activities for families. We have a giant Lego build of the city of Atlanta. We have all sorts of things that are pretty exciting and will keep you very interested in science.
Oh man, that's like a really, really big tease there. So what about the hours of the expo?
The expo runs from 11 to 5. We are kicking the whole thing off with a parade at the beginning. There are stage shows throughout the day, and you can do all sorts of things like touch a brain. I think you're going to see a little bit of that later. You are going to get to put some DNA, your own DNA, in a necklace.
Oh, wow.
And wear that around. You can play with robots,
all
anything
of
you
that
want.
stuff.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Well, this is a very big kind of hands-on event, and I think that is something that is very important too. A lot of people will want to do that, so people will be able to be hands-on.
Oh
right?
my God, it doesn't get more hands-on than touching a human brain.
Yeah,
I'll tell you that.
No, it does not. You are absolutely right. Okay, so let me turn our attention now to Michelle LaPlaca from the Georgia Concussion Coalition. And after all, we've been hearing a lot about concussions, all of that, not just as it relates to football, but really we use our brains every single day, every single minute, even when we're sleeping. Talk a little bit about this renewed concern about the impact that injuries have on our brains as it relates to everyday living.
Right, and you're right. There has been a renewed interest in concussion, in brain injury. So part of what we do at the Georgia Concussion Coalition is to educate folks, to talk about, what a brain is, what brain injury is, how you can recognize the symptoms, how you can minimize your risk for getting a brain injury. And so we want to spread the word that, neuroscience is interesting. There's a lot that we don't know about the brain, which is why we continue to study it, but that it's an important topic for us all to be aware of.
Oh, yeah, and that is something that is very important too. Answer me this as we sit here and look at that brain that we're going to be talking about. But the brain, we always hear about the brain doesn't feel pain, the brain doesn't feel this. Why does the brain not feel pain? Can you laymanize that? Can you make us understand that by putting that in everyday terms?
Sure, that's a really hard concept even for students to get their heads around. So we don't have pain receptors in our brain. That's why the brain, they say, doesn't feel pain. However, the brain is the control center. So all the pain that might happen in the different parts of the body gets interpreted or perceived by the brain.
Okay, so which explains why they can operate on the brain while people are still awake.
That's right. That's right.
That is absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. And so you have there a what?
This is a sheep brain. So
kind of tilt that up so we can see that. See it tilted up there towards that red light there. Yeah. So they can see that in the camera. Okay, so that's a sheep brain.
This is a sheep brain. And so it's not a human brain. At the Science Festival, we will have some of these available so that people who are interested can come and touch them, play with them, look closer at the brain. As was mentioned, though, there will also be at other booths a human brain that you can come touch. So there'll be a lot of neuroscience at the festival.
That is amazing. So that's the size. How much bigger is a human brain than a sheep brain? Just guesstimation.
The brain is about 4 times as big as this, 4 to 5
thank
times
goodness,
as big.
because I was thinking, please let my brain be bigger than that. Because when they say, well, we don't use the whole human brain, I'm thinking we have got to be using more than that.
Oh, but that's a myth too.
Oh,
We do use our whole brain.
that's a very, see, I'm thinking I'm using my whole brain. My goodness, I'm tired at the end of the day. So all of these kinds of things, this is the gee whiz factor of the festival. When you start talking about not just the brain, but just really overall how we function on an everyday basis, the control center really makes us who we are in many ways. It makes us go.
And that's why if you injure a part of the brain, that it can really significantly affect your daily life, right?
Right.
So, because the brain tissue, as you can see, the brain tissue it's very soft.
Right, it
You
is.
can actually, squish it down.
Jelly-like.
So that's why we have skulls around our brain to protect them, and that's why certain sports have helmets to further protect the brain.
That's exactly
So-
right. Very important. Very important. Thank you, ladies. You guys have got to stick around. So when Public Affairs on Peach returns, fun with chemistry. You don't want to miss this either. Be right back.